Hi everyone, my name is Crystal. I'm going to be moderating the debates today. I'd like to thank the Hub for having us out here today and the Elections Committee for all they've done to plan all this. And without further ado, we will get started. So I want to call up the personnel candidate today. Sorry, I gotta stand. Cool. Okay, so briefly introduce yourself for about a minute and then we'll get started with questions.
Hello, my name is Alcantara. I'm ready to be your next personnel director with the most experienced party, the Northside Party.
Thank you very much. Okay, so I'm just going to ask you some questions, try to limit it to a minute and a half about, and we'll try to just keep it going that way. Okay, so first off, what would you say is the biggest responsibility of the personnel director?
I feel like the biggest responsibility for the personnel director is obviously putting students in committees in ASUCR and student-wide and campus-wide committees as well. But I think the biggest factor is inspiration and motivation. I was motivated and inspired to be involved in ASUCR. I was motivated and inspired to run for ASUCR. And now I've been motivated and inspired to run for personnel director in order to do the same thing, to motivate and inspire all students to join ASUCR committees and beyond to further advance their virtues and endowments and endeavors here at UCR.
Next question is, why specifically are you running, or what do you think makes you qualified?
Experience definitely takes a big role in why I want to run for personnel director. Just knowing some of the background knowledge of all the committees and all the meetings that occur during ASUCR is a big factor why I think I deserve to be personnel director, and definitely like the motivational and inspirational aspects as well. That's one of the biggest things that I've learned here at UCR is through motivation, and motivating others is why I think I should run for personnel director. I've done a great job, such as in my fraternity, telling all the younger members of my fraternity to join and get involved, because not only does it look good on your resume, it makes you a better individual and makes the campus empowered as well when other individuals from other aspects of the campus join the ASUCR community.
And what would you do to publicize the open positions within ASUCR?
One of the big ideas that I do have for personnel director regarding that would actually be a big committee board outside the ASUCR office. So a lot of people don't really know when these committees meet or where to apply to. But what I want to do is create a big board outside the ASUCR office to put all the committees that are under ASUCR and the campus-wide committees as well, and have their dates when they are going to meet, their vice chairs, and the application process right there outside the ASUCR office. Not only will this create visibility and awareness, but this will create more people coming into the ASUCR office to ask about the committees that are in ASUCR.
Do you believe that changes need to be made to the application process, or what would you look for in candidates?
Application process does need some changes. Online, not a lot of people know that you can find the application on the ASUCR website, and I would definitely work with the marketing director for the upcoming year on how to market these position openings. With the big idea grant and the big board outside the ASUCR office that I do want to implement, that would definitely help out with the awareness and also the exposure of the ASUCR committees. So definitely working with the marketing director extensively throughout the first 3-4 weeks of the quarter would definitely help out a lot. So it's definitely a collaborative effort in order to have these openings marketed and exposed to the UCR campus.
So this position may require you to make tough decisions, handling members and things like that. How would you handle terminations or certain things that may need to take place because of people failing to perform their duties or things like that?
Well, all of us that do want to apply for committees here in ASUCR and a UCR student campus-wide committee as well, we're all adults. We know that if you don't do a great job in your committee or whatever job you do off campus or on campus, you will get fired, you will get punished. So I think that having a reasoning with these students is definitely a big concern. But we all have to understand that when we do sign up for these committees and we do like partake in them, that we have to realize that we're serving the student body and we're also serving others as well. So definitely like they should understand, and I will definitely be as reasonable as I can be, but also limit myself because they are adults as well, and they should know the responsibilities that they're taking part of by joining these committees.
And lastly, I just want to ask you, ASUCR as a whole, what would you want students to understand about what you guys do?
What I want students to understand is what I've told a lot of people that have asked me, what does ASUCR do? And that's to be able to serve the student body and advocate for all of the students here at UCR, to administration and others as well. What I want to do is help create more exposure and awareness, such as the previous personnel directors have, by increasing the student involvement in ASUCR committees by 300%. So I just want students to become more involved, to know what we do, and by that is serving the students. We pay $12.50 every quarter for ASUCR, and not many people realize that. And because of that, not many people realize that you could join these committees to make a change with these differences. Such as in my party, we have installed our gear. We have done free finals parking throughout finals week. And with that, that's through a lot of people becoming involved in committees as well. The TAPS committee, our gear committee, involvement is definitely necessary.
All right, everyone give it up for him one more time. Thank you so much for answering this question. Okay, so next up, I want to call up the marketing director candidate. Okay, so please briefly introduce yourself for about a minute.
How's it going, everyone? My name is Josue Lopez. I'm a third-year business, finance, and marketing major, and I'm running the most experienced party, your side.
Okay, so firstly, what makes you believe that you're qualified for this position?
Well, during my tenure as a college student, I have the opportunity to serve several marketing positions in the past. My freshman year, I was a marketing ambassador for Amazon, a Fortune 500 company. I learned from top executives on how to market efficiently and collaboratively to get the word out. Additionally, I was a marketing and promotions relations director for my fraternity. We work with third-party venues, other organizations on campus, administrators, and clubs to get promoting and effective social media campaigns and outlets that will increase awareness for any involvement for students.
Okay, so what would you do to make ASUCR more transparent and inform students of what you guys are all doing?
Well, I believe that there exists a bridge of discrepancy between ASUCR and the average student. The average student does not know exactly what ASUCR does, in my opinion. It is only those who are involved with the organization that are engaged, that know the services and opportunities that ASUCR offers an individual. My idea of the marketing director is to bridge that gap in the most efficient way possible. I believe that as marketing director, a student should know what's going on a regular basis. For this reason, I want to implement a live feed directly into the R-Web feature of UCR. Students get bombarded with emails, so I believe that email marketing will just get lost in the spam. By having a live feed, you'll know what's going on regularly. As well as putting banners in high traffic areas, students will know what's going on their way to class, on their way back to meetings, and they will be constantly informed. Additionally, I'll be running constant social media, Twitter and Instagram and Facebook campaigns. These three combinations will all work together collaboratively as well as engaging with students to make sure that everyone knows what's going on within ASUCR and that there is no bridge of discrepancy between what your student fee is going for. And you will know that we are here to serve you, the student, and that is our utmost priority.
And I know you just mentioned social media, which has become I mean, maybe it's one of the biggest things students are using nowadays. So what's something that maybe you would change about what you guys are doing currently, or something that you want to start with social media?
Currently, our ASUCR's Instagram page and Twitter page is relatively inactive, in my opinion. During my experience as a 5-side marketing effort, I devised campaigns that would make posts on a daily basis based on a campaign of escalation. This is designed to promote and make the most effective way of promoting an image on a social media feed. Because the thing is that there's so many posts on social media that it's easy to lose track of what's going on. These campaigns are strategically placed so that there's a constant feed at your service. You will always know what's going on no matter what. In addition to social media, with all these outlets, we can also do engaging and interactive with our users. We can do raffles, interactive Twitter campaigns that will ask students to do hashtags, shout-outs, and other interactive opportunities that allow students to engage with us and us with them. By using these interactive features as well as other campaign structured outlines, I believe that we can bridge the gap that exists. Other members of my party have already began working on efforts that will serve the students, and I will work collaboratively with them to make sure that UCR is being well represented here at ASUCR.
And what do you believe is the most important aspect of your job?
Most important aspect of the marketing director is to get the information out in the best way possible. In my opinion, as I said earlier, there's a gap of discrepancy. The marketing director was going to close that gap. Not only show the information get out effectively, but it's different ways to gain that information out. As I said, I want to interact and engage with all the students. This is a wonderful community of students that all have diverse talents and traits. As marketing director, I want to pick from these talents and traits and have them come onto our team. I want to formulate the best team that will make sure that we get the most amount of involvement, that will increase transparency, effectiveness, and overall will contribute to the UCR experience. This is UC for now, and every single person here has a remarkable aspect. As marketing director, I will make sure that every single student's remarkable features are exemplified in the best way possible.
And I know you mentioned a few things that you're interested in doing. Are there any more promotional campaigns or things that you would like to start?
Yeah, so the current projects that I want to implement for marketing director, already I have the idea of a live feed on the RWeb website. This will give a continuous stream of updates to all things that are involving in ASUCR. Additionally, I am working on the first ever drunk driving awareness campaign at UCR. This campaign will work to increase the awareness of drunk driving and promote and limit the amount of accidents that are involved in our community. In addition to that, members from my team, your side, have already began working on a free subsidized Uber program. I will work together with my candidates to promote this program to make sure that all students know that there will be free Ubers coming in. Additionally, I will be working with our food truck festival coordinator, and we will begin working for that. And we will also begin working on other marketing efforts designed to increase transparency, just as a debrief on a bi-weekly basis that will tell the students everything that's going on with their marketing efforts. I don't want the students to have a question as to what's going on with their marketing efforts, because they already know what will be going on. I want to debrief them on everything that we're doing, that way they can be stay informed and up to date with everything.
Okay, please give it up one more time for him, everyone. Thank you so much. Next up, I would like to call the outreach director candidate. All right, so please briefly introduce yourselves. Go down the line for about a minute. Yes.
Hello everyone, my name is Zena, Hallak. I'm a second year political science major. Hi everyone, my name is Angelica and I'm proud to run with the Your Side Party.
Okay, so first I would like to ask you guys, what organizations or groups do you believe need more of a voice on campus, and how would you work with them to make that happen?
So the first group I would say would be the commuters, because it's hard for many commuters to feel connected to their campus. I definitely understand that because I'm a commuter. So I would definitely target commuters, making sure they have a voice and they feel connected to our campus. I would maybe how would I do it?
Yeah.
I would host events specifically targeting them and inviting the major orgs to come out and table or put a booth so that they can communicate with the commuters and invite them out. Similar to an involvement fair, but an event that would be more exciting for commuters to attend. I would also target the smaller groups on campus, maybe students who live in the dorms who don't know, they go to class and they walk straight back, they don't really know what's going on, and that's about it.
So there are three main groups that I would like to prioritize in terms of outreach. They are minority students, transfer students, and high school students. For minority students, UCR is one of the most diverse UCs on campus, and we need to promote Costo Hall. So I want to collaborate with Costo Hall to boost their outreach programs and make sure that we are allocating funds to the diversity issues on this campus. And I want to also work with the transfer student orientation. I would like to have tabling sessions at transfer student orientations because there is no tabling at transfer orientations. And lastly, high school students are the main priority because they are the future generation of UCR. We need to promote that because UCR is an amazing campus.
And Angelica, this time we'll start with you. What do you believe makes you qualified for this position?
Well, I believe that I'm qualified because, well, first of all, I've been working with ASUCR for 2 years. I'm currently your chair of academic affairs, and I've done a lot of projects from final snack events to the textbook exchange website, and I'm also a coordinator at APSP, so any collaboration with Costo Hall, I can make that happen. Also, in terms of outreach, I've been on an outreach committee before. I was on the KE outreach committee for Kati Funan to plan the high school conference, and I was on ASUCR's very own outreach committee my freshman year as well. So I believe that with my leadership skills, my experience, and my network, that I will be able to be the best outreach director there is.
Qualified to be outreach director for a couple of reasons. This past year I've been really involved in ASUCR. I have vice chaired 2 committees and sat on the 3rd. I've run meetings, I have worked with orgs on campus, communicating with them, doing outreach for the voting committee. I'm also the chief of staff for the executive vice president, so I've communicated with a lot of ex officios on our campus. I have a lot of experience with putting on events. And for 3 years in high school, I was a student ambassador, so I went to all the high schools in the greater San Diego area, and I told them about the great things on our campus and encouraged them to attend our high school. At UCR, I have worked with admissions on a couple of things. I have also done tabling for voting committee and talking to students and getting students interested in things on campus, things in ASUCR. I also have a lot of cash handling experience and money experience, so I know I can help orgs with the planning and the writing their grants or requesting their money from outreach committee, and that's about it.
What would you look for in applications for outreach funding? Because I know organizations and clubs can apply. What would you like, base a yes or no on?
So I would look at how many students they're going to reach. I would want money to go to the orgs that are going to reach the most students. I would look at what groups they're going to be targeting, whether it's commuters, whether it's high schools in lower income areas where they have a lower rate of going to college after high school. I would also look at their the dates and make sure that's it works out for the most students to attend the event. I would also work with them to make sure that they can put on the best event that they can.
So for me, I would keep the same application process for the outreach committee. I know that the outreach process has to do with an online application and a hearing to programs. So, you know, I wouldn't change anything with the application, but I would honestly I would work with the outreach directors to help make sure that their programs are getting the necessary funds that they need. I definitely would look at the number of students that are attending the program, what the program entails, and definitely make sure that the outreach directors are reaching out to all 23 of the districts of the Riverside County, because, you know, feeder schools are primary and secondary education, or primary and secondary schools are the future generations of the UCR campus, and we need to make sure that those students are getting the UCR experience.
Okay, and what new audiences would you like the outreach committee to talk to and reach out to? Start with you, Angelica.
Okay, so new audiences, well, obviously, I mean, as I said before, I would like outreach to make sure that they prioritize minority students, transfer students, and high school students. High school students and middle school students are the main priority because they are the incoming students that are coming to UCR. In terms of new audiences, we can do that by building a network with the outreach directors on this campus that are on board of their student organizations. I truly believe that student organizations are what make up the foundation of this campus, so we need to make sure that we are there for them. And I would do that by having a workshop each quarter, by helping these outreach directors make the necessary connections. You know, they have to work with UCR administration, faculty, sometimes UCR housing, and on top of that, high school administration as well. So I need to prepare them for that, and I think being with them every step of the way will help them do that.
Not necessarily new audiences, but I would definitely put a much larger focus on elementary schools and middle schools in the area. I think exposing younger students to higher education will only really benefit them, because then they'll go through the rest of their schooling with knowing what they need to accomplish to get to a university like UC Riverside. I would make the events like very fun, but also very informative, going through things like the A through G requirements, but also bringing out orgs that can tell them like what kind of events we do, like talking about like block party and things of that nature. Maybe even students who are doing research under professors, so they can, students can know like you don't just go to class in college, like there's so many other things you can do. You can do research, you can attend all these fun events and like grow a huge network.
Okay, and what aspects or opportunities at UCR do you believe are the most important and would want to publicize to those possibly interested in attending or anyone during your outreach? We'll start with you.
So I would heavily publicize that we're such a diverse college. I would talk about the different research our university does. I would talk about the oranges and how the cuties were made, and how we go back to the 50s, all the cool things our university did. Like I said, I would talk about things like heat and block party, and how our orgs put on such great events like Kati's outreach event and bringing students here and doing an overnight thing in Mencha. That's all things that students in the nearby areas could like really benefit from knowing, and it can make them feel pride and excitement about our school, and I think that's super important.
Honestly, there are so many opportunities on this campus. Like, I can't even begin to list those opportunities from, you know, we have an amazing student government, we have ASPB, we hold the best concerts out of all the UCs, we have over 400 clubs on campus, and I guess to ensure that these high school students or incoming students are gaining the UCR experience, we have to make sure that the programs we are building for them really promote that. And yeah, like I want to make sure that they have the experience that I have had, that a lot of us have had on this campus. Make sure that we promote Costo Hall. You know, we are the only university that has separate resource centers for our diverse communities, and that is important to promote. So I guess, like, in terms of organizing all of this, we really need to focus on the programs, the outreach programs that are applying to the outreach committee for funds, and make sure that they gain the necessary funds to make sure that their programs are reaching the maximum capacity.
Okay, so what specific projects or ideas, events do you have planned if you were to be elected to the position? We'll start with you.
Oh, okay. So as I said before, I would love to hold a workshop each quarter for the current outreach directors on from student organizations. And if student organizations or clubs don't have an outreach director, but would love to be to have an outreach program, we could they could attend the workshop as well. And the workshop would entail, you know, having like a step-by-step process on what you have to do, what type of connections you need to have, and especially emphasizing a network for these outreach directors, so that they know they're not alone in this process. And another thing that I would like to do is work with Costo Hall. I have that connection through APSP and you know, the other resource centers. I'm not afraid to talk to the other resource centers, and you know, Costo Hall is my home, so I would definitely love to promote diversity on this campus. And yeah, and also tabling at transfer orientations. And that's what I would do.
Can you repeat the question?
Yes. I was just asking, what specific projects or ideas, events would you have planned if elected?
Okay, so a couple of things. Like I said, I would do an event targeting commuters and having orgs and Pan-Hellenic and IFC come out and table and do something maybe interactive like a booth. I would communicate with the orgs directly. I would use the senators are kind of assigned to certain clusters of orgs. I would use them to also facilitate and remind the orgs that outreach funding is a resource available to them. I would continue hosting the outreach workshops that we did this past year in fall quarter. I would work with the other committees in ASUCR, like Transfer Non-Traditional and GCAP and all our other committees, to put out the word and publicize that outreach funds are a resource available to them. And I would contact the ASBs at like the high schools and middle schools nearby and make sure that the student leaders on those campuses are aware that UC Riverside is an option, and they could be publicizing, or not even publicizing, but like spreading the word and repping UC Riverside on their high school and middle school campuses.
Give it up one more time for both of these candidates. Okay, and next I would like to call up the Transfer and Non-Traditional Student Director. Okay, so just going down the line, please briefly explain and introduce yourselves for about a minute.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Robert Kotonya. I'm running to become your next transfer and non-traditional student director with your side party. Just to start with, I'll start with a quote that I think is really inspirational. One of the most important things that transfer students need will be representation, and that's one of the reasons why I'm running here, to be able to represent them. With that, I will pass on the next mic to the next person. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Duane Kim. I'm a third-year bio major, and I transferred from Golden West Community College.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Aleric. Launch party. It's my second year at UCR. I'm going to my third, my anthro major. That's.
Okay. So firstly, I'd like to ask all of you what you believe makes you qualified for this position.
What makes me qualified to become your next transfer and non-traditional student is that among all the people running to become your next transfer and non-traditional student, I was the only one here that was involved in the non-traditional student task force that created the bylaws and the legislation that has now seen the realization of this position that we're now running for. Also, in addition to that, I'm qualified because I'm a servant. I'm your servant. A king that is served is worth the world, but a king that serves his worth is priceless. Thank you.
So of all the candidates, I think I am very qualified for this job just because at my previous college I did work directly with the transfer student community. I helped ensure the success of incoming transfer students, whether it was helping them with their paperwork for admissions or getting their financial aid files ready on time so that when they did transfer, they would have the funds that they needed in order to successfully attend a UC. And I'm currently the only one out of the three who is serving on the transfer and non-traditional committee. And I'm actually the vice chair for the committee right now, serving under Myra. And I'm also highly involved in a bunch of the transfer programs on campus that help transfer students transition into UCR and have a successful experience at college.
The reason I think I'm qualified is, well, this position is really important in getting people involved that are coming to the campus. When you first come here as a transfer or a non-traditional student, you're really sidelined in terms of the community. I'm really good at introducing new people to the community. I've been doing that past two schools before I transferred. When I came here, I've been extremely involved in what's it called? Tabling during orientation. Sorry, that is one of the biggest things to get involved on campus when you first get here, because it is your first view of the school, and that is what I've been really, really focusing on as my first year here, and I will continue to do that next year as well.
And Duane, this time we'll start with you. So you have to coordinate, ASUCR events every quarter. What ideas do you have for these events, and how would you go about organizing them to ensure that they're beneficial to these students?
So I actually have experience coordinating an event for UCR's transfer and non-traditional student population. Last quarter was our first time actually holding an event, and so we coordinated a finals week success pack giveaway, and what we did was we made a bunch of success packs for the for the transfer and non-traditional student body, and we advertised the purpose of the committee and let them know that we were there to support them, and also gave away a study room which we got in conjunction with the library. And so for future events, I would like to have all the transfer student organizations, all the non-traditional student organizations come out and help put on a fest for that student body so that they can feel more involved and more connected with our campus.
The organizations the events I want to create go back to what I was saying before. When transfers first get here, they are not given the opportunity to know the great things that are on campus. I would spend the first quarter highlighting each and individual transfer outreach programs. Watkins is an example. I'll spend time one day during the week, during the quarter, to show them this is what's the opportunities you have on campus. These are the different, I guess, resources that you can use, because we are not given that opportunity when we first get here. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Someone by the name of Jane, she was a famous actor in the mid-1950s. She said that publicity is dangerous only when it is missing. Last quarter, I was involved with the Student Disability Union, of which I am the public relations director, and I help to coordinate the Ability Ball, which helps to realize the talents that some of our disabled students have. Through that, I actually realized that it's really important to make sure that everyone in the school knows what's going on with the non-traditionals and transfer students. I just wanted to say that it's important to really classify what a non-traditional student is. Not just a transfer student, but also the disabled students, the veteran students. Students who are mothers with babies. You can imagine a mother that has a baby. Hey, she has to go back home, feed the baby, come back to school, work, go back home. It's really stressful for them. So I want to coordinate events that will be able to appreciate them, but also to help them to realize that they are non-traditional students and that there's an organization on campus that is seeking to help them. Thank you.
Okay, so Aleric, this time we'll start with you. What changes do you believe need to be made to the committee as of now? Are there things that you like, things that you would like to see happen if you were to be the director?
Yeah, one more time.
What changes or new things would you like to be done, or do you see with the committee right now that needs to happen that maybe you're not seeing, or just new things that you want to add?
Well, because the committee's so new, I just want to improve on what they're already working on. That is one main thing for me is the orientation. The orientation for transfer non-traditional students is extremely lacking compared to the freshman orientation. Freshman orientation is amazing to me, honestly. And transfer non-traditional students are completely sidelined when it comes to the resources and exposure on campus, not just to the resources, but also the community. I really want to improve community outreach, but it's a two-way street. You can expose the students to like the community in terms of like you can tell them there's orgs, but if you don't tell the orgs there's a humongous group of people that are coming in, they're not going to reach out to them the same way that they're going to be reaching out to freshmen because of a really good orientation they have. Thank you.
Thank you so much. The committee that has been newly established still trying to find the way out to the whole process. But I just want to say that what I'd like to do would be to help make sure that the committee is essentially trying to help the students they find a direction, a sense of direction, because many of our non-traditional students, they come from diverse backgrounds, and when they come here, they are told that this school has a lot of things. For example, if they want to be future doctors, there's HPAC, Health Professionals Advisory Center, and there's many other organizations on campus that are able to help them. But all these things, they are everywhere. They are all over the place. So I would like to use the committee to consolidate it into one single resource. For example, a website that only is designed for non-traditional students. And within that, I would like to help create a book, a notebook that has all these really good organizations and service places that they can join and actually get their dreams, research opportunities before it's too late, because some of the research opportunities need only 2 years, and before they know it, it's 1 year passed by. So consolidate everything into one resource that they know exactly where they can start and where they can go from there on. Thank you so much.
So as a current member of the Transfer and Non-Traditional Student Committee, our focus for this first quarter was to get more publicity, reach out to the population to let them know that we were here to help serve them. And so next quarter and for the future quarters, we're going to try to increase the unity within this the student population by letting them know of other resources that are available to them and also getting them more involved and offering more resources to them during the Highlander Orientation Day for transfer students. That's one of the biggest issues that we're facing right now is when we come to the orientation, we don't get a lot of support. It's only one day and they just try to cram a lot of the information in a couple of hours and it doesn't really help us as transfer non-traditional students. So I would like to, we're working to extend that currently so that it's a 2-day event so that we have more time to let them know what programs are available to these students, what resources are available, because a lot of them have many different backgrounds, many different reasons as to why they didn't come directly in out of high school. And I don't think any of those reasons should be reasons why they don't do well at a UC, because they all have the potential to do well here.
What online resources would you like to make available to non-traditional and transfer students?
Okay, I have a question for all of you. How many of you have heard about this initiative called Pass the Torch on campus? By show of hands. Thank you. I started that organization, that online resource last quarter, and basically the idea is to collect database of free textbooks and free PDF books and online sites where you can borrow placards and use them and return them at the end of the quarter. And we're still trying to make it a campus-wide resource, but I'd like to expand on that so that students can just use an online resource to register themselves and to be able to use it to get free textbooks that have been donated by students who graduated or books that have been donated from off-campus resources. Thank you.
So the online resource that I would like to utilize is a page for transfer students so that when they apply to transfer here, there's a complete list of things that they have to complete, such as forms that we don't get told that we have to do once we transfer here. Also about other resources that are available for the non-traditional students, so it's easy to access and that they don't have to go searching around through all of UCR's web pages to find them. And also, we would also like to implement a carpool list for those students who commute, because the commute is very difficult for a lot of students. We had a lot of students right in the event where we got feedback previously that they would like a commuter, maybe van pool kind of option for those who live close enough that van pool isn't an option, but far enough that it's inconvenient for them. Because of that, we have students who have to take a bus for an hour just to get here, and I don't think that's reasonable that they should get punished for that. So we're actually going to try to start a carpool list where it'll have names of students who agree to be on this list and their address and contact info, whether it be email or phone, so that they can reach out to other students and find rides to school at a more affordable, at a more time efficient way.
Those are great points. Where I would focus on for online you said, is a page on social media. When you first get to orientation, you're going to join the group. As a freshman, there are a lot of freshman groups. As a transfer, we didn't get any of those. And along with providing help from the school, community help is really, really important. So when you have a page where you can ask not just people that work in the school, but other transfers as well, that is what I would really focus on, because the community support is what I got the most when I came here. The school helped out a lot, and I would really want to expand on the transfer housing programs and their online resources, but I think expanding the community and how they can help each other is really, really important. Thank you.
Start with you. Lastly, how important do you believe a position such as this is to UCR in general? I know it's new, the committee's new and everything like that. How important do you think it is to our campus?
I think if anything, this is probably one of the more important, if not the most important position on campus, just because a lot of the transfer students and non-traditional students who come here, they've had to struggle a lot just to even reach this point. There's a lot of family reasons, a lot of personal reasons, financial reasons, whatever it is. they were unable to attend immediately after high school and categorize themselves as a traditional student. So already once they come here, they're at a disadvantage because they only have 2 years, maybe 3 years to come here, complete their goals, be completely integrated within the community, and it's a daunting task. So a lot of them get discouraged from even, I guess, getting involved in the community because they know that their time here won't be as long as the other students. So the fact that we have the direct impact to help them find a community here, to help them fall in love with UCR as much as I did, I think is an important resource, and I think it should be more widely available and more widely publicized.
Rihanna once said that, "I can't wait to see what the world has to offer me." It's a simple quote from Rihanna, but I just want to reframe and say that I can't wait to see what I have to offer the transfer and non-traditional students. I think this is really important because in this school we have about 5,000 non-traditional students. And this is a really big population of our students. And if there's no one to serve them, then they have nothing to contribute as much as they would like to in the school because they feel like they're being left out. They just come to school and they go back home. They come to school and they go back home. They go to work, they come back to school, they go back home. So I had an experience my first quarter here in UCR by helping a student mother with a couple of babies, being a volunteer tutor for basic math. And I felt like it helped me really appreciate how much everyone else would contribute to such kind of students because nobody really does it as much as it should be. So with this position, we can pretty much help serve all these people and help their life become easier here at UCR at the transition into the next stage in life, whether it be graduate school or finding a job or just living life out there. Thank you.
Can you repeat one more time?
I just wanted to ask you, what do you think is the most important about this position, and how does it benefit UCR as a whole?
Why I think this position is important is the fact that you're taking a group that feels unappreciated, unequal, and making them feel equal. I don't feel that any group of students should be more important than anybody else on campus. I think it's more important to make sure everyone feels equal. Because as soon as you feel equal, you feel like actually part of the community. You're not above them, you're not below them. And what was the second part of the question?
How do you think it benefits UCR as a whole?
It benefits UCR incredibly by having a diverse campus. We're going to have an equal campus. You have everyone that feels they're in the same level. Everyone feels that they can be involved with each other. They feel that they can talk to each other, and they feel that this is actually a home. This is actually somewhere you can be for the next 2 years and not feel it's just another stepping stone, but it's a place that you're going to make memories for the rest of your life, and you're going to come back here and send people here and be just part of UCR forever. Thank you.
Okay, everyone, please give it up for all the candidates today.
All right, let's get a big hand to all the candidates that were on stage today. They all did fantastic. Thank you all for coming out, and a big round of applause for our moderator today, Crystal. All right, thank you everyone. Please stay tuned. We'll have 2 more debates next week. We'll have ECAB next Monday at 11, and next Wednesday at 11 we'll have the presidential debate.